Hi everyone! So life has been so crazy lately at my new job, launching straight into my new career as a software engineer and launching our product at the end of October that I have had no time to breathe or film any videos. But the career change has been really fulfilling so far and I have been really enjoying it. So for this video, I'm actually going to backtrack a little and talk more about the application process to become a government certified teacher or MOE certified teacher in Singapore. So I've been receiving some DMs from aspiring teachers asking for more information about this process and the program, and so I thought I'll do this video to help these aspiring teachers who are hoping to enter the postgrad diploma in education program that is run by NIE, and I'll just be using the term PGDE for short in this video. So first of all, what is PGDE? In short, it is a postgrad diploma program for people with undergraduate degrees who are aspiring to become a teacher, a MOE certified teacher in Singapore. So if you're intending to do a career switch, or if you are you have just graduated from university, you can actually apply to this program. So for the exact requirements as to what qualifications you need, please go to the website as all the information is listed there. And I'll link it down in the description below as well. So firstly, how does the PGDE program work? Well, I'm just going to give a brief overview since some of the information can also be found on the website. But generally, for all subjects other than PE, it will be a 16-month program in NIE. So when you first apply online, and if you pass the online application as well as the interview, it doesn't mean that you're automatically enrolled into the PGDE program. You actually have to do a 1-year teaching stint first. And in this teaching stint, you will be assessed, and you have to pass that before going on to officially sign up on as a teacher. So I'll talk more about my experience later in this video. So generally, it's 12 months of NIE modules, and the other 4 months are when you go back to schools to teach. For PE, it's actually a 2-year program, and you also have to do like a physical aptitude test during the interview as well, but I will not be elaborating on this since I didn't take that track. So now that you have an understanding of the program in general, I'm going to share with you my experience and some tips about the application process. Okay, so firstly, I applied online during the start of 2015, and I passed the online application, which means that my qualifications were okay and I was invited to go for the interview. However, I actually did not pass the interview during my first try. So what happened was I prepared the general questions as to, like, for example, why do I want to become a teacher, etc. And during the interview, apart from the behavioral questions, you also have to do a short teaching demonstration on a lesson plan that you will perhaps carry out in your classroom. So depending on which subjects you have been allocated, I would suggest doing a lesson plan or doing a teaching demonstration according to the subjects that you've been allocated when you applied online. So for me, I applied and got English and Science for primary school. And so I think the first time I just went in and kind of spoke about my lesson, but there was no practical hands-on kind of demonstration. And even though they didn't tell me why I failed the interview, I felt that it was because I had no practical props, or I wasn't perhaps animated enough, or I didn't know how a lesson plan was supposed to be structured. So I'll talk a little more later about what tips I have if you're going for the interview and how I passed my second try. So apart from the behavioral questions, the teaching demonstration, there's also a short portion where you have to answer an ethical question or a teacher ethics question. So for example, what will you do in this situation? So I didn't pass the first interview, and for the PGDE program, you have to wait 6 months before you can apply again. And so I applied again towards the end of 2015, and this time I actually got in and I passed the interview. So I felt that the major difference between the first and second interview was my teaching demonstration. So for the second time around, I was a lot more prepared. I had a prop. I was basically teaching on the topic of plants, which is science in primary school. And I had this prop where I drew I drew a flower and then the different parts of the plant, and then I labeled it. And I treated the interviewer as my students, and I proceeded to ask and try to engage them and show them how I would be teaching in a primary school, or how I would be teaching in the classroom. Now, I know this is difficult since we have had no training at all, but what I would suggest is to read up online. Read up online about the lesson plan that you want to do. There are many resources out there. Just do your research. Next, during your demonstration, I would recommend you to be very interactive. So not just having a monologue throughout the entire 5 minutes, but ask questions to the interviewer, pretend that they are your students, be animated, and yeah, I think that's the major difference that I had between my first and second interview, and I believe that was the reason why I passed. So I eventually passed the interview and got an offer to do my contract teaching stint in a public co-ed primary school in Singapore. So that was a 1-year contract teaching stint. Now, this contract teaching stint was honestly the most difficult year that I had during my teaching career. So basically, you go in the first day of school, you are given a full load of classes. You will have no training whatsoever as to the pedagogies that you can teach, pedagogies that you can use to teach. And so you must really be prepared to do your own research online, spend your extra time trying to research lesson plans. But generally, I think depending on the school, the lesson plan is perhaps not the thing that they will focus on the most, but actually your classroom management skills, because they understand that you are an untrained teacher. Of course, it doesn't mean that your lessons can be utter rubbish. You would still have to craft good lessons, but generally, as long as you have met the lesson objectives and tried to use some sort of interesting pedagogy, if possible, and you have your classroom management down, then I believe that you will pass your contract teaching. So for the contract teaching stint, generally there are 2 major assessment points that you will have to pass, either one, before the school will send you, before the school will approve you to be sent to NIE for official teacher training. Okay, so for my contract teaching stint, it was not easy at all. A lot of the other teachers also told me that, if you survive teaching in this school, you'll survive anywhere. But of course, that's no excuse. You still have to be able to do a good job teaching. It's not easy, so if you are struggling during your contract teaching, hang in there. Ask the other teachers what you can do to improve your lesson plans. Don't be shy. You cannot be shy. Take the initiative. Ask your supervisors for feedback, what you can do better. Even talk to your principal if you have to. So for me, during my first assessment, which was in May, which is the first half of the year, I was actually told that I didn't pass that because I did not have the classroom management down. Basically, if I recall correctly, the problem was during the lesson demonstration or during the lesson observation, where my supervisors, such as the HOD and the principal was there, I think one of the students stood up to go and throw rubbish at the rubbish bin without asking for permission. And perhaps there were also some other instances where the students were not fully engaged, and I think that led to them feeling like I did not have my classroom management down, because as a teacher you should have eyes on all the students at once. I'm not gonna lie, when I failed the assessment the first time, it really crushed me quite a bit. I was not sure anymore if I had what it took to become a teacher. I didn't give up. I asked my senior teachers what else I could do, if they could help me look through my lesson observation, lesson plans, and give me some feedback. So I think it's really important to get feedback, especially from experienced teacher. I was very, very thankful to have very good colleagues who were really willing to help me, and I'm really forever grateful to these senior teachers who took their time to teach me. And yeah, eventually I passed my assessment and the school approved for me to go to NIE. I was really thankful that I had a lot of great teacher colleagues that I could learn from. And after passing the assessment, the 1-year contract teaching stint, I then signed the official bond to enter NIE for 16 months, after which I'll be bonded for 3 years. Yeah, so that is generally the PGDE application process, and I hope to help you. If you have any questions or you need any help or guidance, feel free to email me or reach out. I might take a while to reply because I'm really busy at my new job, but yeah, generally I will still be really happy to help. I cannot, for questions about qualifications, please refer to the website because I cannot advise on that. I can only advise on what I have been through. And so to wrap up this video, I just want to encourage all aspiring teachers out there, don't give up and ask for help if you need it. But also don't forget to take the initiative to do your own research and approach people and ask nicely if they can give you feedback, which I'm sure they will be willing to as well. So yes, that's the end of this video. Do let me know if you have any questions, and remember to subscribe and like. Thank you. Bye.